That is, every Rav has the traffic, except for so they came to the Rav and they complained. He said, Azak, größte Stadt, und Azak, kleiner Rav. Such a big, such a big city, and such a small Rav. So the Rav said, Ich bin take a kleinchike und a daritchke. I'm small and emaciated. But the benkel, the chair that I'm sitting in, is very big. So when I sit on this very tall chair, nobody will realize how small I am, because I'll look big on this big and tall chair. Now obviously it's a play on words. What is he trying to say? He's saying, I'm small, but the position is big. So the position will promote me and elevate me. He says the Rebbe, the position, the benkel, the position is the position of the Nasi Ador, of the Rebbe the Shver. The Rebbe will always talk about his father-in-law, the Frierdiker Rebbe, as the Nasi Ador. The Frierdiker Rebbe says the Rebbe needs, the Nasi Ador needs Yadayim v'Raglayim, hands and feet in Olam Hazeh, to do his work. So it's nishnegei. It doesn't matter if the person sitting on the chair is big or small. What's negei is that there's a shlichus. Yadayim v'Raglayim Gashmiyim need to do the shlichus. So you and I and every one of us sitting around this table, we've been chosen to be the Rebbe's Yadayim v'Raglayim Gashmiyim. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. Which means we need to do the things that the Rebbe wants us to do, and go to the places where the Rebbe wants us to go, and not go to the places the Rebbe doesn't want us to go. I'm looking around the table. There's people here that I know. When I came to Los Angeles, I started working in yeshiva. Rabbi Shochat, Zolzain Gesund, hired me to work in yeshiva. So when he called, I finished my time in Melbourne. So when he called me, he said, come and teach in yeshiva, and you'll work with the Bachrim, you'll teach the Migla and Chassidus. Anyways, this was the end of Tafshin Samach. So I wrote a letter to the Rebbe that I'm being asked to go work in yeshiva and to teach the Bachrim Migla and Chassidus. And with all the Chassidish bittul and yeshus and all the rest of it, they said, I'm worried that I'm not shaykh to it. I am deeply concerned, Lubavitcher Rebbe, that this position is far beyond me. And yet I'm being asked, given the formal position, and encouraged by my mashpia to take it, and I'm concerned. To tell you the honest truth, because it's a Fabrengen, I was hoping that the Rebbe would write, that when I would open an Igros, I would find that the Rebbe writes, you are wonderful, and you are great, and you are a big scholar, and you're a visionary, and you're a scholar, and you're caring, and you have all the capabilities, and go and do. That's, if I have to be honest, that's what I was hoping the response would be. I got a very different response. It says that, you can look this up in English, it says that the Rebbe writes to someone, I don't remember who, that the Gemara says one of the simonim of Mashiach is chutzpah. Rabbi Yoel would always say, it's a simon, not a sibah. A simon, not a hachana. One of the simonim of Mashiach is chutzpah. So the Rebbe, but everything, in the Pashtus, it's a negative thing. That the world will go so nuts that there'll be such an abundance of chutzpah. It's a simon, it's one of the simonei agula. So the Rebbe, but everything has to be used in tzad hatoiv. Ubemela, when a person is offered a position, and the Rebbe writes, to teach Nigla and Chassidus, and he's not shaykh to it, and he knows he's not shaykh to it. He takes it anyways. HaKadosh Baruch Hu yatzlichai. You understand? In other words, it's not about you. It's not. We're going to sit and get into a pilpul here. You are capable, you're not capable. You want to know the truth? The truth is you're not. Fartik. Settled. You're not. Don't convince yourself you're somebody who you're not. It'll lead you down a very dangerous path. You're not finished. Shalom al Yisrael. End of discussion. But there's a different conversation that has to go on. Medina ploinisi chareva v'yishalcha. There's a job that needs to be done. There's people who need to be helped. There's people who need to be inspired. And the Rebbe told every single Yid he came in contact with, you have a shlichus. Go and do, go and build, go and help another Yid begashmius, help another Yid beruchnius. No excuses. In that sense, In that sense, 100%, every one of us, every Yid is a shliach. Sometimes the cheshbonos of cheshbon hanefesh, sometimes the cheshbonos of cheshbon hanefesh come from the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara wants to trap us. Cheshbon hanefesh, b'krishma shalomita. Gesundheit. Dafka there, dafka by krishma shalomita, we want to think about how to help other people. And the rest of the day we want to make a cheshbon hanefesh. When it comes to another Yid, we have no problem telling them, doesn't matter, when it comes to mitzvah tefillin, doesn't matter, more religious, less religious. Well, you're not religious? I have a special pair of tefillin, special for a person who's not religious. Huh? When I was in Eretz Yisrael, I used to use a trick all the time. Ani lo dati, oh, אתה לא דתי. Oh, סליחה. הנה, יש לי פה זוג tefillin, I have a pair of tefillin, במיוחד בשביל לא דתיים. Special for the non-datiyim, we have a special, the datiyim get a different one. Use a special for, באמת? Emes lamitosa. Would I lie to you? This is, telling you, this one. Who uses this tefillin? Rak lo dati. Dati asur lo laniach tefillin. Not. We have no. When it comes to somebody else, we have no problem with this. I was by Chag HaSmicha last night. It's run by a Lubavitcher, but it has many other from all crises, from all communities. So there's the guy there from YU. So he spoke by the Chag HaSmicha. So he joked. He said he went through a smicha that was run by a Lubavitcher. He said he's starting to feel a little bit of the Chabad stuff wearing on, having an impact on him. He says, how do I know? He says, because he was riding the subway the other day, and just all of a sudden, out of nowhere, again, this is a YU guy, he's joking obviously, but he's a YU guy, imagining to himself in public what it would be like if you were to have this sensation of a Lubavitcher. In other words, he's imagining what would it feel like to be riding the subway and being a Lubavitcher. He said, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I saw a Jew in front of me, and I had this unexplainable urge to put on tefillin with him. And the whole crowd laughs, because it's funny. But it's also true. In other words, he, who I don't know how much chassidus he learned, if he learned any at all, but even he understands that if he were to close his eyes and imagine himself as a Lubavitcher riding a subway, what would be his first inkling, what would be his first impulse? Would be to put tefillin on a Yid. So this, the Rebbe was very successful with all of us. To go to another Yid and tell them, there's a chaim. Whether you do, whether you don't, whether you consider yourself or you don't consider yourself, you're a Yid. There's put on tefillin, do a mitzvah, you're connected, no question. Don't be judgmental. Don't consider yourself michutz. You're not michutz lamachaneh. You're not. With somebody else, very easy. With ourselves, yeah, but really I should have done something else, and I am shaykh to it, and I'm not shaykh to it, and I could have, and I should have, and I would have, and if only the Rebbe would tell me what to do. Oh, I love this excuse, by the way, it's my favorite. If only the Rebbe would tell me what to do. And now the Rebbe didn't tell me what to do, so what do I do now? Even my mashpia, I don't know, sometimes I felt sometimes he understands, sometimes he doesn't. I wish the Rebbe would tell me exactly what to do. Then I would do it, and I would, it would be so easy. You ever heard anybody tell you this? I wish the Rebbe would tell me clearly. He said to a guy, I'll do you one better. What if it wasn't just the Rebbe who told you clearly? What if it was the Eibashter, who would reveal himself to you and give you an instruction? Would you fulfill it? Absolutely. I said, I have a shtickle hergish that you wouldn't fulfill it. How do you know? So I said, Ma'aseh Shahoy. What happened? The Eibashter revealed himself at Har Sinai to 3 million Jews, and he gave them one instruction. He told them, don't serve Avodah Zarah. How long did it take? Till they served Avodah Zarah? 40, very good. 40 days. 40 days. 40 days. I can give you explanations from today till tomorrow. B'metzias, 40 days. No, you think it's different? And the Rebbe will look you in the face and tell you exactly what your shlichus is. And I'll tell you a little secret. He did. And the people went on shlichus. And you know how long it took for them to write back to the Rebbe that they want to quit? 40 minutes. And sometimes 40 seconds. Oh, I just got here? Yeah, I realize I'm not the right guy. You should have sent my chavrusa. He's so much more charismatic. You should have said, it's this one now. What's the Yetzer Hara going to tell a chassid? What's the Yetzer Hara going to tell a chassid? How is the Yetzer Hara gonna get to us? What's the Yetzer Hara going to say? Do this and you'll get a big Gan Eden. We've been deprogrammed. The Gan Eden track, not so effective on us. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm serious. Doesn't work. Don't do this and you're going to go to Gehenna. You know the Tolner Rebbe's word about Gehenna? Huh? No. Tolner Rebbe looked at Moyer the Gevot. He said 3 chassidim ended up in Gehenna. I'm sure you will hear this. A Breslaver. The second one I don't remember. It's Agera and Alabavitcher. The Breslaver realizes he's in Gehenna. So he shouts out to his Rebbe, to Rabbi Nachman of Breslov, to save him. Rabbi Nachman of Breslov's Matzeva says that if a Yid has long payas, Rabbi Nachman will take him out of Gehenna by his payas. So he screams, Rebbe, Hashieni. So Rabbi Nachman of Breslov comes, grabs him by his payas and takes him out. Gets to the Gera Rebbe, the Gera Chassid, whoever it was, shouts, to the Gera Rebbe. Hashieni, Atzileni, the Gera Rebbe takes him out. Lubavitcher wakes up, he's in Gehenna. He's in Gehenna. He cries out, Rebbe, help me! So the Tolner Rebbe says, the Lubavitcher Rebbe comes. He's in Gehenna. Takes a look around. There's more than one Jew in Gehenna. There's a whole bunch. But he has one chassid in Gehenna. So he pulls out $1 the Rebbe pulls out $1 from his pocket, gives it to him. Hatzlocha Rabba in opening a new Chabaras in Gehenna. What's the pshat? But the guy's in Gehenna. Not about you. It's not. And if you'd be in Gan Eden, is was? What give him better? So what? Gan Eden, Gehenna. There's a shlichus. That's why we're here. We're here because the Rebbe wants to remind all of us, once again on this Gimmel Tammuz, that in our offices, in our place of work, in our classrooms, in our medical buildings, wherever it is that we are, we have a shlichus. And it's a shlichus of every Yid. And it's Ketzer Malchus Asher Nitan B'Roshei. L'chaim. What can we pass? Ay, Adam. That's right. Ay, Rabbi Gans. Sagt etwas, bei der Rav. It's a safe space. Say something. Come on. While Rabbi Gans thinks of something to say, I'll keep talking. When we were in Australia, so Rabbi, as a Rav from Eretz Yisrael from Rehovot, came to collect money into the brain. Rabbi Gluchovsky. So when he came, he told a few very interesting stories. I remember some of them. He said he was going. He said he had.
Can't hear, Rabbi.
Sorry. Is that Shalom Ber? Was that you? Yeah. So Rabbi Gluchovsky from Eretz Yisrael told us that he went there in Rehovot. He's a Rav in Rehovot. They had an issue in Rehovot, something to do with, I think it was a zoning issue, and they needed to go to the Bagatz. Bagatz is the Supreme Court of Eretz Yisrael. He's a Lubavitcher Rav, but it wasn't the Chabad issue. It was a Shtotische Frum issue. So basically, they went a few Rabbonim representatives from Rehovot to the Supreme Court. So the story goes back, 30 years ago, I think. So he took in those days in the cars, they had a place where you could put a cassette tapes. They called them tapes. Kids don't remember. You could put cassette tapes and you could listen. So on his way out of the house, going to the car, he knew he was going to be spending time with Shtotische Rabbanim. So he was looking for a tape of Sichos of the Rebbe that he could play in the car while they go. Anyways, he couldn't find. But he found a tape called Nigunei Yisvados. So Nigunei Yisvados, what they did was they took the recordings just of the Fabrengen, just of the Nigunim, no Sichos, just Nigunim. I grew up listening to these cassettes. Niguna Yizvadas. Anyways, so they get to the car and he tells them he brought a cassette. It's just Nigunim. Anyways, he puts it in and they're playing and they're driving. Now what happens between the sikhs, so different people would come up, would ask them different questions. They were like short conversations that took place. Very often you can see in the videos the Rebbe would cover the mic so people shouldn't hear. But there were years when they had the microphone. What? The microphone that sat in front of the Rebbe had 3 pieces. Anyways, the Rebbe would sometimes cover them. So anyways, but also between the sikhs, the Rebbe would tell people to say l'chaim. So as they're in the car and they're driving, and they're hearing the singing from the Farbrengen, all of a sudden the Rebbe's voice comes through the cassette tape, and the Rebbe shouts, "Gluchovsky, zog l'chaim." So the rabbis all look at each other, and they look at him, like, is this some kind of prank? Like, is this some kind of shtick? Anyways, he himself said he almost passed out, like he was not expecting any of this. So, and they go on, with the singing. Anyways, and he rewinds it, and sure enough, there it is. They were shouting, "L'chavski zog l'chaim." Anyways, Verstetzach, he pulled up at the nearest gas station, and he bought a l'chaim, and he made l'chaim, and the other rabbis thought he was out of his mind. But another day in the life of a Chabadnik. So why am I saying that? Oh, and later he found out that his father was at the Farbrengen, and the Rebbe told his father to say l'chaim. Also, I'm saying this because I remember a different story that he told that was mamash murder. It's known that the Frierdiker Rebbe called in 9 chassidim in 1924 and made with them in Tofresh, that is 1924, Tofresh Pei Dalet. He made with them a krisus bris, that they would go by Mesiras Nefesh to protect Yiddishkeit in Russia, particularly chinuch under the communist regime. And the Frierdiker Rebbe told them that we have to go by Mesiras Nefesh ad tipas dam achroina, until we have to fight until the last drop of blood. This part is very famous. And Taka, some of the chassidim who were at that, and the Frierdiker Rebbe said, "You are 9, and together with me it's a minyan, and we make a minyan, and we make a krisus bris." That was the lashon hara. Krisus bris, and we go by Mesiras Nefesh ad tipas dam achroina. And Taka, many of them were captured and were executed by the communists. So this part of the story is famous. Rabbi Gluchovsky told, I heard from him a part of the story which is not so famous. When it was over, every good story has an epilogue, right? So when it was over, so the 9 chassidim left the room. So the chassidim sent to Chaim Fagin, who was the Frierdiker Rebbe's secretary and also one of the 10 who made the krisus bris. They sent Chaim Fagin back into the Frierdiker Rebbe with a message. I did not know about this until I heard it from Rabbi Gluchovsky. The message was that they should tell the Frierdiker Rebbe that they are scared. Not taking back their promise. You hear me, Schoenberg? You hear what I'm saying or not? Yeah. Not taking back their promise, but they want the Rebbe to know that they're scared. That's the message. A secretary's got to do his job. So he goes back in, he tells the Frierdiker Rebbe, the chassidim, they're not taking back their promise. The krisus bris, can't. Too late. But they want the Rebbe to know that they're scared. Now, my head, me, the way it works, I'm always trying to second guess. Okay, so what do you think the Frierdiker Rebbe was going to say in response? Because I'm guessing that's what the chassidim were expecting, right? I think they were expecting some reassurance. Don't worry, everything's going to be just fine. It's going to be Mesiras Nefesh, but Yad Chassidim, Yad Yehudim Alol Yoina, and it's going to be like Yehudim Ma'aseh Simcha V'Sas and Vikar, and it's all going to be just fine. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say, I believe that may be what they were expecting. It's not what they got. Instead, the Frierdiker Rebbe told his secretary to tell them that it's not possible. It's not possible. Not possible that they should be scared. Why not? So the moshel mo adavar doime a guf gashmi. A physical body. No, the Frierdiker Rebbe gave this moshel. A guf gashmi has a heart and physical limbs. Now, emotions go from the heart into the rest of the body. So if the heart feels fear, the hands will tremble, the feet will shake, the person will be short-breathed because the fear spreads throughout the body. If the person is excited, jubilant, happy, so the feet will dance, the hands will machnazoi. The emotions spread from the heart to the rest of the body. But if a particular emotion does not exist in the heart, then it's not shaykh that it should be in the hands and feet. There's no other address where the emotion can come from. It's not possible. Ubamayla said the Rebbe, since I am lev of Klal Yisrael, and in me there's no fear, it's not possible that in you there is fear. You feel like you're afraid. Okay, go back to the moshel. What happens if there's no fear in the heart and the hands are trembling? It's not fear, it's a trembling issue. How do you fix the trembling issue? You got to make sure that the pathways, the tzinoiros, between the heart and the hands are open properly and fixed. And once they're functioning properly, the lack of fear in the heart will be manifest into the hands and feet, and they'll start trembling. Ubemela, if they feel like they're afraid, it's a hiskashrus issue. And if they'll fix their hiskashrus, the lack of fear in me will be manifest in them as well. That was the answer. Now, let's call a spade a spade. This is an answer that was given to people, some of whom did not survive, and actually paid the Tipas Dam Achroina price for fighting to preserve Yiddishkeit in Russia. As the Frierdiker Rebbe told them they should be prepared to do, some of them actually did. And it's to these people that the Rebbe says, you're not really afraid. Because I'm your slave, and I'm telling you, there is no fear here. It only feels like it. Fix your hiskashrus, and the lack of fear in the Rebbe will be manifesting you too. We are not called upon today to have this type of Mesiras Nefesh. We're living in a time which the Rebbe refers to as our chava b'gashmias and our chava b'ruchnias. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. Really, we unfortunately we tend to take many of our blessings for granted. We're living in a time which, if the Rishonim and Achronim would see this, they would say it's Yemoisa Mashiach Mamash. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. And in the Vata Tetzava, the Rebbe says, and we're supposed to be poshut, broken-hearted, to the point that we become physically ill, choyle, the Gematria Memtes, over the fact that we're in Golus. And a Yid may look at themselves and go, look, man, I live in Los Angeles. Baruch Hashem, we got good weather. I have a blessed life. Baruch Hashem. I should be completely in ganzen zutreiselt, cautious, because we're in Golus. What if I don't feel it? What do you do? What do you do if you don't feel it? The answer is, of course, you feel it. We're the Rebbe's Yadayim V'Raglayim. We're his Evorim Gashmiyim. We're his in the Lashon of the Maimar. Kol Yisrael Hema Raglayim, the Moshe Oroshalem. We're one goof. And the Rebbe says, the fact that we're in Golus is it's supposed to really affect us. We don't feel it, that means we're not properly connected. What? Oh! How do we connect? So Rabbi Yoel used to like to say, everything has a body and a soul. Right? It's not his word, but I'm saying everything has a body and a soul. His kashrus has a body and a soul. The body is limud Torah, v'kiyum ha'orosov, to learn the Rebbe's Torah and fulfill his ha'oros. Like, how do you connect to the Eibishter? You learn Torah and you do mitzvahs. It's Chachmasa Ritzonah Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Chachmasa is Torah, Ritzonah is mitzvahs. Chachmasa Ritzonah Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You learn the Eibishter's Torah, you fulfill his mitzvahs, you're Makusha. How do you become a kusha to the Rebbe? You learn his Torah and you fulfill his mitzvahs. That's the guf of his kashrus. But then there's an neshama. There's a neshama. And a neshama means you have to understand what's going on here. What is the Rebbe doing? What does the Rebbe want? What did the Rebbe spent 40 years teaching us? The Rebbe taught us that there's nothing in the world that's more powerful than a Yid. That's it. There never was, and there never will be. And the only thing that can get in the way of a Yid is the Yid themselves. That's it. And if we get out of our own way, we are invincible. No Yetzer Hara can stand in our way. Nobody else's Yetzer Hara, not our own Yetzer Hara. No circumstances in life. No nothing. Ein Gerette Meises. If we decide to buy into the story, then yes, we're in our own way. But if not, to be a chassid of the Rebbe means that the Rebbe's vision, the way the Rebbe sees us, that's the way we learn to see ourselves. You know what Chassidus calls this? Yetzias Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim we're stuck in is a Mitzrayim we created for ourselves. Mitzrayim we refuse to leave. And the Moshe Rabbeinu comes and says, listen, come on, get out of Mitzrayim. You're not a slave. You're not a slave. Yeah, I'm a slave. 80% of Yidden say, yeah, we're slaves. Come, I'll take you out of Mitzrayim. Lo yishomu. Meher tishvos meret. The Rebbe looks at every Yid, every chassid. You're not afraid. You're not small. You're not incapable. Stop buying the false narrative that you're selling yourself. Nish gestoigen, nish poshet nicht emes. Poshet nicht emes. Amol daf man reden mit sich. You know that story? Amol daf man reden mit sich? Huh?
Yeah. Wine rab.
Wine rab. Amol daf man reden mit sich. What? Why? What's the pshat daf man reden mit sich? Tell the truth. All right, Rabbi Gans, you ready to say a word? Huh?
Get them on my mice. I once read the mice, it's a short word. Set by the Friedrich Rebbe. Alter than C and Metzger. He said that when Yitzhak comes to Friedrich Rebbe, he told him he gets a mazel tov. So there was a mazel tov. She had a baby. His wife had a baby. So the Friedrich Rebbe said that, so the Nishtah, so they simcha to get a mazel tov. So he had a maidel. So they have a yingel. So the Chatov a maidel was... Yeah, so the KGB came to me last night and they told me, they don't keep cheshbon. If you're making a bris, you should know they have a first-class ticket in Siberia. So the Friedrich Rebbe is hintergegangen und hat gesagt, voll gesund today. Das ist was. Die anderen haben gesagt, nun dann bekommen betochen und voll, der Rebbe kann helfen.
Wow.
Noch ein Dollar in Gehenna.
Wow. Voll gesund today. First class noch.
First class.
Practical man.
Huh?
Practical man.
Yeah,
I was thinking,
are we being recorded? Rabbi Gans wants to know if we're being recorded. Huh? Turn off the tape.
Turn it off.
Turn off the where is he?
It's a charger.
Okay, it's gone.
Pause the audio.
Good to not.
I gave my brothers. Rabbi Zeli. Rabbi Zeli. Don't speak his voice. Nice to see you too.
Go back in tomorrow, whatever. Moving into
No, let's not tell that story. Let's tell a different story.
You're the Bala, go back here.
Huh? Oh. No. Who's your uncle? It was a zoning issue, right?
The water building for the city. A lot of the standards there were about the private with the second. And they said they start making Afghanos. So right here went all the way up. Going, let's tell you a story. He was going with Samanash in the car, and an Indian, he saw him. He saw him, you have seen the walls of the very start. And in the middle, he said, the Imamish was like slowed. He was on the highway or something. Said, yeah, we wanted to, he thought he was gone early in the morning, you have to make a report, you have to like get there at 9 a.m. and have to from where it is. And
He didn't say that he was with Shlosh Rabbanim? Huh?
I knew he was with his own Shabbat.
Uh-huh.
But he grabbed the said he needs the pencil or the pen for wine and he gets food. And then like, he called my grandpa. And then called my grandpa. And then like a minute or two later, that was said like
Uh-huh.
What you took? Yeah.
my uncle is recommended this so look about the investment, the building that they bought, they'll say already there was already a sense from the beginning that you must see it. But
Can you hear me? Can you hear?
that was his thing, he said that he felt saying the time. Now they also pulled off the side, I guess.
I remember the way he told the story like such a rush, like Amish. And then the next day, Shubachim went out of Marcus in Melbourne. They came back 2 weeks ago. A few days later, they said the next day they were driving around. They were listening to the Good News and they heard the. You said Zalman Shaz, huh?
I don't know what you did.
Ask him if it's better. So you mentioned Zalman Shazar, so you reminded me of a great story that I heard from Rabbi Label Shapiro from Miami. So when Shazar became prime minister of Israel, Zalman Shazar. So when he became what? The story gets better. He's about to get an education. Anyway, so the Rebbe spoke about it by Fabrengen. So the Rebbe said that he's going to say something, and he knows that what he's saying is, again, I don't know the Lashon, but basically you're going to get him into trouble, but from that side. And maybe the Rebbe even said he doesn't even know why he's saying it, which is something that the Rebbe said on occasion. A certain thing he said, doesn't know 100% why he's saying it or why he was said, but what the word of us is, that Shazar was just elevated to become prime minister of Israel, and the Gemara says that Kol Oil L'Gdula, Moichlin Loyal Kol Oven Oisef. And the Gemara doesn't give Tnoim, doesn't give, So, B'meila, Afem Mezaychel gesagt, that Moichlin Loyal Kol Oven Oisef. The kids, you can only imagine. Shazar, Moichlin Loyal Kol Oven Oisef. Yeah. Here, put it on speaker.
It's okay.
You hear me now, Shmari?
Give the mic to God, he just takes it back. You're not talking to his mic.
I'm talking. What do you mean? He's not talking anymore. You already finished.
Makes you finish?
It's Moshe speaking now. What do you mean? Rabbi Gans is finished.
Yeah, but who has the mic?
Which mic? There's already no mic already for the past 6 hours.
Moshe wasn't talking to a mic?
I stopped a long time ago. This is Moshe speaking.
Well, I'm sorry,
You don't have to be sorry. You didn't do anything yet. But you could see me from the live chat or not?
Yes,
Well, but you can't hear me through the live chat.
I can. I thought it was better before. Okay, my mistake.
Okay, so you could stay on the phone. Just mute yourself so that we don't hear you.
Okay.
Or I'll mute myself and then we'll all hear you.
Thanks.
Wie wilt. Anyways, kids are after the Fabrengen Vert Lebedik. The Rebbe should say such a thing about Zalman Shazar. Anyways, so I heard that some representatives from a particular Hasidic community who was very hot under the collar about this particular issue asked to meet with the Rebbe about all sorts of things, and this was among them. Kach Shemaiti es Sipur, Rabbi Label Shapiro, the Rebbe agreed to the meeting. Anyways, they came, they discussed Al-Ho, and then it came to speak about this. And they said, they're trying to understand, With all due respect, Rabbi, I've learned, by the way, whenever anybody says to me on the phone, with all due respect, I already feel the knife turning in my back. I already feel it, like, I start twitching. How could you say such a thing? Sibba says, I don't understand what you're asking me. I don't understand what you're saying. Ich habe etwas gesagt. Es steht in Gemara. I quoted you a Gemara. But Talmud Shazar. Rabbi said, I'm trying to have an intelligent conversation with you. What do you want from me? I shouldn't quote this. This Gemara is nicht good. You want to say different pshat in the Gemara? Say different pshat in the Gemara. It doesn't bother me. It does bother me, but So they said to the Rebbe, "Aber keiner halt nicht das sei." What do you want from me? He said, "Can't help this. I can't help this. I read the Gemara. No, what do you want me to tell you?" So then they pulled out the atom bomb. Said, "No, was wird der Rebbe sagen wegen
Ben-Gurion.
Ben-Gurion. Yeah, voice. There was no wegen Ben-Gurion. Also going to say, "Kol look the Lord Kol and I said, "No, what would you say?"
Ask you about which Rebbe.
Yeah.
Huh?
Nein,
The Rebbe said, "Was art das euch? Der Eibste wird neu sein noch ein Jahr." Verstehst? English? Why does it bother you? Why does it bother you? Maybe you should forgive him.
was? The tweede gesprek. We hebben vertellen van de les.
They
Bij
said-
Ben-Gurion.
they said-
Wat Ben-Gurion
they
noemen.
said,
Was uit te
"Was art das euch?"
Van de eeuwigste.
Heeft het mogelijk zijn is nog hier. I heard, but this is mamish like Mizak Shaloi Bachrayas Klal Klal. But it's not a bad story. I'm just saying I don't know that this has any mocker at all. I heard that there was once somebody who offered a Yerushalmi, the Abemas Agod B'Yisrael, who offered to make shalom between the Rebbe and somebody else. That there was, bavusta beef between the two of them. And he said he's a Yerushalmer, and him is seven, for many generations before they never left Yerushalayim. He said he'll go to New York, and I'll make shalom. And they were advised not to. But he said, not going to work. He said, why not? He said, you come to Lubavitch Rebbe because of the tightness, right? And you say this, and I say, he said, the Rebbe has a way, he just has this knack. Whenever you challenge him on something, he brings you a mocker. It's necessary if it's a Yerushalmi, that Punkt happens to be a straight away. And it said, and once he finds a mocker, rates some lump, can't move him. He just keeps repeating. As a state. Huh? What are you going to do? Steht das sein? So sei like Yerushalmi, but so say Yerushalmi steht das sein. They said this. Huh? So I was going to say this. They came to the Rebbe with two times, right? Number one, why is not Messiah with other Gedolei Yisrael? Number two, es gefunden etwas am Medrash, hat Tanchum es zusammen in Parshas Monsey, das habe ich gesprochen, wir gemacht das ganze Yiddishkeit. Every sikha of the Rebbe is about Dir B'Tachtonim. I'm telling you, try it. 99% Mefurish, and the other 1% is basically Mefurish. Everything is Dir B'Tachtonim. It's ein Medrash. Seine steht das ein Medrash. Darfst machen von dem, wie man sagt. That's the second kasha. And the first kasha is, why is not Messiah with Gedolei Yisrael? So said, I think one kasha answers the other kasha. What's the shaykh to Messiah? Du gewinnst am Medrash, machst du dem ganze das. So steht das ein Medrash, nur ist was. Can't read was I'm mentioning. What you want me to have intelligent conversation with these kinds of people? What do you want me to tell them? So steht das ein Medrash, nur ist was.
Jetzt einmal von Sil Gordon und Shalom. He told me that his father, gelernt von Tel B'das. So he came home and he told his father, der Rebbe gefragt, I'm a lama. Gefragt die Kasse. Der Medr sucht, Hashem Beirich ist Avraham Bakoil, ist Bas Hoilo in Avraham, und Shema Bakoil. Zeh bazoi, was hat gedacht, schick mir, Lezer mit Avraham treffen nach Schiddich, alles Schwotten, und so Bescheid gewen mit der Schwester. Da, dem Posig steht, dass hat eine Schwester. Da schickt er das nicht. Der Malamet hat geämpft, aber mit der Medrisch kann man nicht chassen.
Mit der Medrash kann man nicht chassen.
So Gordon told me, next morning my father took me out of that class. My father took me out of that class.
I got to give up to listen to this. You remember a guy in Los Angeles called Laser Handelsman? It was a Yid, Shanol Vashol. It was a Yid, huh? A Yid Laser Handelsman, Ravak, a single guy, and a wilde goyne shakop, but like wild. He fell in love with the Rebbe's Rashi Sichas, among other things. And it bothered him very much that Lubavitcher Chassidim are not taking the Klole Rashi and applying it to all the Rashis in the Chumash, because the Rebbe spoke about the Miyut Shem. So he started to work on it. He got brachas from the Rosh Yeshiva. He's probably one of the only ones in the world that wrote a sefer that has Haskama from the Rosh. He got Haskama from the Rosh Yeshiva. Anyways, and he wrote a shtickle sefer, applying the Rebbe's Shittas and Rashi to other Rashis that the Rebbe didn't speak about. So he took it around to different Rosh Yeshivas to get Haskamas. So he told me the story, but he wouldn't tell me the name. So he took it to a particular Rosh Yeshiva, and he shows it to him. Now, the whole thing is based, the whole approach of the Rebbe is based on the idea that Rashi is Pshat, Pshuta Shel Mikra. So this Rosh Yeshiva is looking through this thing. He tells him he's not going to give him Haskama. Why not? Because Rashi is not Pshat.
Built up the crackers.
Crackers, it's all about the crackers.
Wow.
Yeah, no, this is very serious. I got Bizar Eichlin, you got all sorts of issues.
One of the 75 shilas.
Yeah. That I don't get. So anyways, so he brings it to the Rosh Yeshiva. So Shiva says, I'm not giving you a Haskama. Was nicht? He said, the whole Yisoid is that Rashi's Pshat. He said, everybody knows that Rashi is not Pshat. Rashi's Drush. Ein Meshivin ala Drush. So he opens up to him in the beginning of Bereshit. Rashi writes a few times, Ani loy bosi el lefarish Shel Mikra, and explain that there's a difference between saying bosi lefarish Shel Mikra and Ani loy bosi el lefarish, as the Rebbe said so many times. Ani loy bosi elo is to exclude everything else. That means even when Rashi himself writes in the Farish that this is a medrash, it's also relevant to Pshat because Rashi said Ani loy bosi elo. And he shows the Rosh Yeshiva where it says this Rashi. Anyways, I cooked, and then he gave an answer. Rosh Yeshiva, not the Rosh. The Rosh wrote Haskama for the Sefer. He's trying to get Haskama from other Rosh Yeshivas. He gave an answer which because the transparency of the Misnagid is mamish Chaychus is on. He said, quote, Besser jene Rashis omer sein schwer, wie tuisen andere Rashis. Checkmate. I'm pushing. I heard it. I wanted to start dancing because it doesn't get better than that. In other words, what does he say? Rashi says he's Pshat. I say Rashi is not Pshat. I'm right. Rashi is wrong. Rashi is not Pshat because I said so. I said Rashi is Jewish. Right. Now you have a problem. Rashi says he is Pshat. Okay. So I have a problem. I accept it's a problem. But you who say that Rashi is Pshat, you also have a problem. Because now you've got to explain every other Rashi. I prefer my problem than yours. You go break your head and explain 1,000 other Rashis, I'll deal with one Rashi. You'll figure out Pshat in 1,000 Rashis, I'll figure out Pshat in this Rashi. In other words, my Hanocha is not going to change. I decided Rashi is not Pshat, Fartik.
This is also not Pshat.
Huh?
This is also not
No, this is literal. Rashi is not Pshat, Fartik. Now Rashi says he is Pshat. At Mezogan Teretz. And by the way, and I can tell you already what the teretz is. The teretz is that Rashi is drush, ein meshivin ala drush. So even when he says he's pshat, it's also drush. Huh? That's what you're saying. I missed it. Sorry. Gefundene halacha. As Maisa Achas und Dibur Achas und Machshav Achas is Machrikas Atzmai was Kol Olam Kula the Kafstrus maybe Yeshua Batzol Olam. Say the state as I am. Nu was. Kijk hoe de Welt. They were sitting with that patch in the dish, the bang on the table every time they get together. Tell them Herzach Yidden. to add one Meiser, one Dibur, one Machshava, bring Mashiach. So there steht the Rambam. And the Rambam is a Sefer Halachas. How do we know that the Rambam is a Sefer Halachas? Because the Rambam says so in his own Akdama, which is also disputed. Yeah, it's not Kipshutai. What are you going to do? One Jew decided as emes, and everything that Rashi writes is emes, and everything that Rambam writes is emes. Fighting. And the rest of the world says, wait, we have pshatim and explanations and this. And it doesn't. And Kena Haltish Tazay. I love that line. Kena Haltish Tazay. Somewhere else.
Did you bring the book?
Yeah. Taros Chashashua, it's called. So Hamalach Ganei, exactly. What?
I didn't make pasta.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the Dav Marvi, the link to Dav Marvi.
You need to Dav Marvi and Machiev, so you're going to make sure there's a name.
I'm with you.
Klal the Rebbe, they wrote once against the Tzonis, type in the Machlokes. Bereshis Aleph Aleph. Bereshis Aleph Aleph. That's on the Tzonis. The Rebbe, every letter the Rebbe writes, everything the Rebbe writes, has Maram Mekoimus at the bottom.
Yeah.
Chassidim reden allemaal van de Galdas van Rebbe, Maram Mekoimus, Shasi, Pasuk. So they started making the Tzonis. The Rebbe zeichnet zu jeden Pasuk. So when the Rebbe says Bereshis Bora Lukim, steht Bereshis Aleph. The Rebbe spoke with the Verbrengen. Sagt der Pasuk, mit zeichnet dann der Mokke, das ist der Meibste. Das ist der Meibste. Das Meibste ist aber. Das ist zugezeichnet der Mokke, das ist ein Chumisch. Bereshis Aleph. Jeder sagt. For Gott, so steht Teide. Nein, sie zeichnen etwas an Bach in Hochsavon. Das ist schon ein Kind. Das ist schon etwas. Land ist das, aber das ist allemal. Aber das gewinnt. Das ist zusammengerät mit Land. Das ist Picture, aber das ist allemal.
Racher, maar het niet.
Al jede Sieg, dat wird doch Push ist auch Pussy, weil es noch in der Meinung kommen. Das ist es.
Yeah. Nothing more than that.
Das ist the ultimate about of day.
Yeah. I think they made one for the Tzonis. From Tzai. They wrote a pamphlet, a ganze Meise. Man geht dann von gemacht auf Tzai jetzt. Man geht durchstellen an alle airports, an alle trains. Kleine Gläser, dann machen wir kleine Wasser. Frei jeden. Get to the Tzonis. The Rebbe spoke about such pain. Kili, man macht the Tzonis for me. Man macht the Tzonis for Teure. The Rebbe darf schon taken. Why taken now? Je macht the Tzonis, Allah is zich nodig. Heb je taken? Why taken now? Dat dacht ik, dat was niet. Maar dat is past, but... There was the side.
Label Garner said there was a Misa once, something with the Israeli army. There was a soldier who was wearing tefillin, and the Arabs were watching him, and they saw the some tefillin. They didn't know what it was. They got afraid, they got concerned like something, and they ran away. So Label repeated it to the Rebbe. He said that they saw that there was a story going around. There was a soldier in tefillin. Got them scared something, they ran away. So he told the Rebbe that it looks like they thought that it's like some secret kind of weapon. He said this to the Rebbe. He became very serious and he said, you just say they thought? As in Torah says, state v'yoru means it is. It says they thought. Got upset. Huh? V'yoru b'mekah. Eil tzil shavuosh.
least there's someone person that believes in Torah. At least there's one person.
Yeah, takes it literally. Pays a high price for it because everybody. Der Rambam hat gesagt, dass geschrieben sein Sefer Halachas. Als Frühen und Kinder sollen euch verstehen, wissen, was zu tun. And you know that joke about the Rosh Hashiva who comes Lamaila, he says, I'm shot in Rambam. And they bring the Rambam himself, and the Rambam says, Dish gerichtige Girsa. The Rambam of Girsa is company. The Rambam says, Dish gerichtige Girsa. So Rosh Hashiva takes a look and says, was versteht der Frank in Rambam? The Rebbe found that in the introduction, the Rambam writes, Halachas, als Kinder referring sollen verstehen und wissen, was zu tun. Jeder steht da so, but alle wissen das nicht, es ist nicht da so. Ich meine, somebody learns Rambam, women and children should learn Rambam.
In the olden days, they were smarter.
What?
In the olden days,
But the Rambam says he writes it. Not only that, the Rambam says, and you don't even have to learn anything else. You learn Chumash, and you learn Rambam, and you not Chumash, Tanakh. And you learn Rambam, and you know what to do in part.
Why didn't there
Right. But now people can. You know how the Rebbe told the doctor that he has a hard time seeing small works? He's struggling with his vision. Huh?
That's you.
Yeah.
He told the doctor that when he learns Gemara, it's hard for him to read the Agor Sabach.
Was?
Eigentlich, but
Erzähl doch mal, sag was, sag.
two pictures together.
Ja.
Exactly, didn't have.
Auf ein Neue oder?
I don't know the rest of the story. So,
Ask what glasses everyone. Nach dem Stolz und nicht der letzte Model.
nicht der letzte Morde. They put out now, Jem put out 2 hours of stories, Bedafka for the Yiddish-speaking oil. Could this gesehen? In Yiddish. A lot of the Mises are Bavus the Mises, but like, they called it Voiduli Edim Nemonim, specifically about the years before the Messias, in Yiddish, for the Yiddish-speaking oil. So there's a story, I didn't finish watching the whole thing. There's a story there that I always heard in bits and pieces, but now they collected the whole thing. If any of you know it, if I missed some details, you could fill me in. The Maisa was that the Frierdiker Rebbe sent the Rebbe to get, with a letter, to be co-signed by Rabbi Monsey. Huh? What was the Maisa? Yeah. And I heard it now the whole time, the whole thing together. So the Rebbe took the letter and he went to Rabbi Monsey's yeshiva. When he got there, so they told him he has to wait, because Rabbi Baruch Ber was there with Rabbi Chaim Monsey. Talmud of Rabbi Chaim. So they told me he has to wait because Rabbi Baruch Ber is inside. So the Rebbe waited. Outside, Vaishtachos was either Talmudim of the yeshiva or other people who came to see Rabbi Chaim Monsey. But he didn't know who he was. But the Chon gave him Cheppenzachter with them, Was Rasuk learned, what do you say about this, what do you say about that, like Cheppenzachter with him and learning. What? They knew who he was.
They said he was the Aiden. The note has to say
They knew that,
That's
but they had a specific hidden.
Anyways, the Rebbe didn't answer, and then at some point, they called him in. So when they called him in, it looks like Reb Chaim Oizer and Baruch Ber knew something that was going on outside. So the Rebbe answered everything.
after he had his letter signed.
No.
He went out.
He came in. The Rebbe went into the room. And he answered everything to Reb Chaim Oizer and Reb Baruch Ber. Everything. Rishon Malachim. So Chaim Moshe asked him, so why didn't you say anything before? He said, the only reason why I'm saying it now is because I don't want that you should affect the shlichus. The shlichus is that you should co-sign. But Mela, I don't want it should detract from the shlichus. So Chaim Moshe took, so what's the shlichus? Shlichus is to sign the letter. So Chaim Moshe took it and he started to read the letter. While he was reading, so Baruch Ber continued with him. So again, it looks like the Rebbe wanted to see the shlichus through, so he continued to talk to Baruch Ber until Chaim Moshe signed. Once Chaim Moshe signed, Vayamad Hashem. I don't know what the letter was about.
I wanted to put his
It was a letter that was signed by the Frierdiker Rebbe. Frierdiker Rebbe wanted Reb Chaim Moshe should sign it also. But once Reb Chaim Moshe signed, the Rebbe stopped talking to them and learning. So Baruch Ber said to him, "Come with me to my yeshiva, and ich bin dir maftiach, and you'll be the next Gadol Hador." The Rebbe said, "You know, ich hab mein Derech, ich hab mein Rebbe, ich hab mein, you know, thanks but no thanks kind of thing." And he said that Baruch Ber was mamash like he was. Huh? Later. The Baruch Ber was like mamash. He was a tzritzter, you know, telling you, "I'm not playing games with you. You'll come with me, with Machem from there. Gadol Hador, Rashke Bahag." He left. Now, how do we know the story? I don't remember the names, but whoever escorted Rabbi Baruch Ber afterwards said Rabbi Baruch Ber was crying on the way to the train or wherever he was going. He said, I should, that der junge man, wollte gekannt etwas machen mit them, you know.
Sein Wolf ist ausgeführt geworden.
Yeah.
Der Rebbe geworden dort.
Not the way he wanted it.
Meine Arbeit, der war ich als Kruppenrekorder. Ik gang ik went to the stuff brengen. Ik was de boek. They came the next page in RJJ.
Yes, that's right.
Nou, dat begat heb nooit Shimano, ze gaan gaan van
Reb Shaya.
Ja, zo we kan de video gedaan.
Yeah.
Als ik het mooi had zo gegeven verbrengen. Dat is wat staat verkeerd. Ik gewin, ik had het ik gewin het antwoord, ik ticket in de ganze zaak. Ik ben echt voor dem. De weer geweint. Daar is nooit zo verteld. I'll tell you a story.
Right.
Feel better, yeah.
Make you better. Yeah.
The most good I'm glad.
What?
The most good muscle. You don't think it feel good.
Ja. Dat is
Zoals?
Ik
The most good muscle.
ga niet verbrengen, ik niet
Het maakt me feeling good. Het is helemaal nice om te maken. I'm only here the background. Maar wat is dat zeil? De korm die we hebben. We staan met dat zeil.
Details about how the story is going. The story about the Baruch Ber.
Ze hebben gered van de later daar.
Wat er in over de vinger hebben geleid,
Dat is later. Mijn steken.
Hij wordt er even te brengen, de red is voor met red is ja.
Als hij mijn steken, ik wist dat ze al lossen, I'm introvert. Stille.
The Rebbe said about himself.
The Rebbe was saying, we can't all chuvas in Achronim. It's going to chuvah from Eram Meir.
Yeah.
So, from Information Period. So, they can't all chuvas in Achronim. But that chuvah, but the Krok Man Chassan, and that chuvah. It's answering why he's bringing such chuvah from Sa'ach Abba.
Gabi, what was the good
I don't remember what it was. Probably
Who said? The Meir Shapiro, right?
That's
Of
where
course.
Ze doen een borrelpak. Een van de halve, soms er eigenlijk nog. Misschien een halve stel nacht. Het drin, andere de schmigger, de andere kent dat ze geen schmigger. Ik ben zeer beleidigd. De Rebbe reflectief in Sanzera, de Zanz.
He went to Yechidus.
Ja. So the kids, as the Rebbe, hij toch, hij liefde het als de Rebbe is een manier dat ze me gehouden, dat je dan nog wel de schwere dat me zo geroepen. Kids, de Chavere, maar gevraagd ook, is zeer als je in de Rebbe is terrets. Maar de rest in mijn kabel weer een terrets. hat jetzt gesagt, der Mann ist nicht gelegt. Noch am Anfang geschmissen mit ihm, aber gesehen, dass kann jede Schuhe, wenn wir gehen, backwards and forwards.
Wow.
Sagt, wir sollen rufen wie er will.
הלוואי על הסטנציה זו ביטל צ'וזייר. הלוואי זו alle Tanzer, alle Tshuva. So they wissen, wer kennt die Tshuva. Und he's moichel.
Kijk me bij.
Als was?
Kijk me bij, zo met dat document. Brengt het er gaan. Zit er zo. Ja, brengt het er gaan, dat is het.
En ik vind dat je brood de Rebbe eindiglijk van de Mashak. De Mashak, die 7 jaar in Rome. Dat is ongeveer erop geweest. Ja,
he introduced himself.
Mashak is
He introduced himself to the Rebbe.
very stable, Mashak.
He's
Zo
Talmud.
gezien, dat is een sterke schaal.
He's Talmud.
Dat is eindiglijk.
He was
Eindiglijk die printer, die geeft brood te Rebbe bij Davos. Dat is van de Rebbe, maar dat is van Mashak. De Rebbe die geeft allemaal lang, dat is erop. De Rebbe vraagt, je meet op Shimon Greenfield. They were like, what?
I heard by Fakiris, and that's Fakir. I can't say the Rebbe Weiss. Says the other Rebbe introduced him, so named the Rebbe told him how many places in his chuvas. Where he mentions out Rebbe and where he doesn't it, where we're a shayl, we're like a Bakiyas, Mams.
Ja, dat is waar.
In the early years, ik was als de 71 jaar die namens kwamen, maar samen,
Ja.
namens veel. Sehr bekanntes Mann, 71 Jahre.
By us it's Bakant, because we have all these songs.
Interessant.
Now everything's sent by him. What's that website? All this website.
Ja.
Eigenlijk kan de rest niet zien, zo zo veel over. Ik ben eigenlijk toch een
Wow.
ik heb
Abraham
dit
Seif, Abraham Seif. Ja, dat is goed.
we hebben gekremen dat we
Dat is
leren.
wel, ja. Dat lijkt allemaal.
Ja, we willen
Daar nog eens dan kan mij, hoor.
Dat is bekend. Andere, we hebben daar de geliefdes van
Was?
Ja.
Wat je met dat?
Dat is zijn deze zaken, we hebben dat geliefdes.
ja, ja. Min kaart.
Maar dat je dan hebt. En dan wordt dat de microfoons is.
Ja.
Ik ga dus bezig zijn.
Alleen zeer snel, ja. Mensen schaffen.
Wat je met
Dat gaan mensen kennen zaken.
He was shouting and screaming at Klubba.
Ja, dat is gewoon. Ik kom naar mij zeggen.
Ich habe gehört, aber ich habe gehört von der Maskiris allein, ich kenne schon sicher, aber ich habe gehört immer so von sei. Also, mit Chaim schon zu Rebbe vor dem Tag. Die letzte Sache von Tag, was man geben von Rebbe, ist das war. Weil, es war reinkommen an Sefer, ich kenne sein 1000 Briefen auf dem Tisch, alles gekannt. Reinkommen an Sefer. Ich habe es auch übergenommen. Das alles gern. Man sagt, dass der Rebbe der erste Mal, das ist noch nach mit Ches, der Rebbe, wir haben die Library, ich frage der Rebbe zu. Wie gewinnt der erste Schabbat in der nahe Dieren? Das ist geschmeichelt. Ich habe gesagt, als ich gesehen habe, man bringt ein Kind in ein Zuckergeschäft. Dann bringt mein Mann in der Library. Ich vergaß das Schabbat.
Ja, verloren dann.
Ja.
Ich weiß nicht, der Rebbe heißt Rose, so alle Rebbe ist hier.
Nein.
Sag Menschen Rose und Rose zu, nur wegen der Rebbe. Jeden vorgehalten, jetzt ist Rose.
Sag's früher, wegen den meisten, wenn man es nagelt. Das ist so klar. Der Rasche, shit, das ist noch nicht. Ich hab am meisten. Ich mach da Chaim. Ich rief der so kommen zu Chaim. Ich rief von ihm, ich kenne nicht. Ich rief von der Rebbe, ich rief von Lea. Lea kann, also machen sicher, dass kommt. Bei mir ist gekommen, also macht sicher, dass der Bord ist im Platz. Und dann ist ein normaler Deckel. Wir kommen zum Chaim. Ich bin jetzt zum Chaim, aber ich weiß, dass wir so verbringen, das sagen ja, es sein. Einfach weg, ich sag Du bist was Simcha. Du bist was Simcha. Da was auch nicht. Ich habe krank gemacht. Ich verrede von aber da kann ich erzählen am meisten. Ich erzählt am meisten.
Duisburg.
Ja, ich erzählt am meisten. In unserer Beis Chabad, das ist kein Leben...
Suffering.
Ja, gut sein.
Yeah.
Weißt du, gut sein. Aber man geht jede Woche.
The old one.
Ja, dort ich gewinne ein Gitam des Nagel. So, wir kommen jede Woche. Es ist gar nicht gesund, seit heute gedacht, eine Spitalien, Schabes, I don't know what. Gedreht am Meister, steht da, aber zwei Hälfte, zwei Lieden mit einer Joggen, an der schämt sich. Kitzer, hat zerbrochen an Rita Gorisch. Kluger Gevin, man. Ein Emerson Stein. Also, but we were very close. He guessed by me. Eigentlich da war 3 Jahre. Ungekannt, wenn jemand kennt, hat es Chepet an Chassidin. Eigentlich gegessen und geschlafen, zum Stammen nach Chassidin. Und war da keine Flair, mit Schibber, aber das ist geht. So einmal sagte mir dann, da wird ich unterweisen, dass die Chassidin seine wrong, und snagt ihm seine gerecht. Ja?
No mistake.
Ja, was der Reihe? Sagte aber, der Reihe ist, als in Russland zu schwere Zeit mit den Kommunisten, sind alle litwische Yeshivas reingekommen, die Wichelig, die nahe Maskira. In Bochum sind gefallen wie Fliegen. Jeden zweiten Tag ist ein zweiter Bocher auch gezeugt von Yeshiva. Der Lubavitch hat gehabt etwas Karbonos, aber ganz schwache Karbonos, sehr schwache Karbonos. Hat keiner meist. Frage ich mich, meiste Liste, was uns erzählt. Guckt sie mir an. Er ist dumm ping wie alle Lubavitch.
Was?
You're so stupid as all the Lubavitch. Ich hab's nicht. Ich nein, ich weiß nicht gar nicht.
You're very
Close,
frustrated.
you see it. Was ist das? Eine litwische Woche ist eine kluge Woche, eine durchgetriebene Woche.
There you go.
Bei Meiles, zet er aan Sefer, zet er Bichel. Bis ein hat er nicht gewusst von ihm. Zet er Bichel Zweikes. Es wird Zweikes. Aber hab ich Woche eingehalten. Dann kommt er an der Munde. Ja, ich kann gar nicht schauen. Das für dich. Ich hatte erzählt, die meisten für die Gehör. 2 Wochen später, da habe ich nicht aufgehört, dann noch geschickt. Aber er hat 2 Wochen apart. Das ist aber gemacht, ein Mistake, als du rief. Er hat von Lea, habe ich immer allein gerufen auf dem Telefon. Er hat der auf dem Telefon nicht gerne gering gesagt. Und ich gehe keine Hallo noch gewähnt, eine gute Nacht nicht gewähnt. Mit einmal gewähnt still. Hallo? Er hat an David. Ich habe gewollt rief. Vater noch, ja, an David die meiste. In der Gewert, Gold! Die meiste, ich weg meiste, was am meiste? Die meiste! Wat er gebeurt, kom!
He was still thinking about it 2 weeks later. He loved it.
Aber es ist Tag, es ist los, ich habe gehört.
Murdered it.
Yeah. So, I mean, this guy was such a fool.
Nein,
No, you're the fool.
Yeah, this is right. Never going to
That's the Yom in the Choldova.
No, he also like
Vater noch
Lubavitch.
gelernt Lubavitch, gelernt Remendel Wächter. So haben wir gelernt, das hat man gelernt. Gelernt Nashab, man gelernt ein bisschen Samachwort, ein bisschen. Etwas Tanya haben wir gelernt. Aber we didn't know anything about Lubavitch. But,
Mendes gewinnt,
er ist schon gewähnt, aber yeah, so we looked at the Buddha, we all knew. Yeah, we looked at the Buddha. Ich weiß doch, aber es ist Lubavitch, das ist auch Kasch, das sagt man, setzt es so ist wie, oder man legt einen langen Brief, aber es ist Leben getrieben, ja, Menschen trachten, oder eben ein Elefant. It's a little bit, you know, extreme. Ich bin nicht gegeben, die meisten, da muss ich denken, in a second. So da welke mensen beslechten, tak als ik het shoot. Waarom zal ik shoot? Now you just have to approach them once in a while and you see. It's the right thing is noise. Wie die einer gesagt hat, ich wacht von einem. Das Woche gefragt, das Scheide, die Gemara sagt, Rebischte sagt, wie allein Kaporisch, miatet hier Salavon. Wie allein Kaporisch, miatet hier Salavon. Den gefragt, das Yeshiva, wie es heißt. Korben gaat, das helft naar een verzekering. Meestal dat is kijk. Dat is Yeshiva zegt te schrikken. Gewoon in het slaan. Du bist geusje de Menschen auf Ameisen.
Scheiget.
Amazing. Not God.
Can't stay up. Amazing.
Was? Okay, was? Ja, andere ich kick mit Terrence to the same. Was soll ich bringen die Kasse?
Yeah, I don't want anybody short. You
What?
need a minion tag. You gotta.
Ja. Bol gaat wel. Dan aan mij gewoon kan op het Leg. Wait a minute.
Waarom?
Nee. Dat is mij niet. Kijk dat?
Good enough to arrive okay though, right?
Fantastic. Never done better.
No, that's
They're down tonight. Inside.
Maybe try out more.
Silver. That's not right. You gotta go to a corner with it. That's your thing,
Fucking tough. Who has to decide? Who has to decide? Let me ask you, these people that are making her cold? That's it? Something doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I'm surprised this group. These are pitsy, these are 8,000. These are 12,000 BTUs maybe. 9,000. Pitsy. Weird.
the Chagma, for being outside, more concepts, whatever. Taking the mitzvahs is reality, the opposite is zach, what does it? I'll have came up with it was Thursday Chassidus and the Rebbe was the Derech to Mashiach. Everybody wants to identify themselves with God.
He's got it.
So much clothes out there. Everybody. Man, what's the tiny school? What's tiny school? What's wrong with the one? Stop getting, no, you're thinking. Stop getting that shit. It's crazy. You go get that shit. It's nothing wrong. How big is it from this wall? From that wall till where? It's twice as big as the lunch. With tall ceilings. Oh, it's gonna be the wall.
Actually, it's smaller than that. There's a library that's inside.
Make it a nice size. You can have it call them name? Huh? Oh, who's sponsored? Yeah, obviously it depends if you're coming with the Chassidus or something. You might have to call it kind of, I'm a Spanish Budapest.
It's going to sit back down.
I don't think so.
Okay, good night, Eden. Heilige Eden. May God bless you.
May your wildest dreams come true.